I was police commissioner of Philadelphia, my #1 priority would be to rid the streets of gun violence.
If I was the police commissioner for one day, my top priority would be to make sure the streets are safe, primarily streets that are high in crime or drug usage. I would also probably work on making sure we could fund a lot more police officers. I know in years past that police officers lose their jobs or get laid off because the city can't afford it or whatever the issue is. But as a commissioner, I would try to create initiatives so that we could get police officers on the street to make the streets a lot more safer.
On a scale of 1 to 10 in my Temple University community, I feel as though my safety is at a 7. And I feel this way because, fortunately, I live down the street from the police station. But I know
1 to
that
10, I feel like I'm a 7.
And
And that depends on the time of the day. So during the day, I'm more of a 10 because everybody is outside playing, having a good time. You see the little kids running around. But towards, as the day goes on and we reach nighttime, I would say that goes down to somewhere between a 6 and a 7. Only because there are, it seems like people come out at night and do all of their mischievous stuff. So I feel like it's less, it's not as safe at night. But so yeah, daytime I'm like a 10, nighttime is about a 6 or a 7 as far as safety.
I feel that the job of keeping me safe is the responsibility of the government, the police.
I feel like the responsibility of someone's safety is twofold. In part for the person and also the role of the state or the government in whichever capacity that it may be. For people who buy guns, that's their own, they feel like that's their own means of protection. That's why they have to make sure that they are safe themselves. People who put fences around their homes, that's another mechanism to ensure your safety. So I think that the role in which someone plays in their own safety is partly on their it's partly their responsibility and partly the responsibility of the government, the state. So that's why we have laws, to no sexual harassment or whatever, things like that. Or if you're walking a certain way, or if someone tries to abduct you or whatever like that. That's the role. Then that's when the government comes in with police force and whatever capacity that they may. But so I think it's twofold. It's up to the person, and it's also a responsibility of the government as well. Generally speaking, I think influx of police force in any capacity is more beneficial than it is harmful. I think of the child who won't misbehave in class when their parent is there, right? So it's the idea of someone's watching you, or someone's there in the midst of your actions. So if a police officer is on a corner or bicycling or just walking around, or there could be some type of surveillance on the light poles, whatever is there, I feel like the neighbors or people who live in the community will be more receptive to that, as opposed to not seeing anybody there and knowing that it's an area with high crime or high drugs or violence or anything like that. I feel like it's more beneficial than it is harmful to see police officers in one area at any given moment. Now, the backdrop to that, though, is that sometimes I feel like people might think that because there's too many police officers or because there's too much police action, that might cause people to feel frantic or like, what's going on? Why is there so many police officers out here, right? But in any capacity, I think that it's always better to have what you need than to need what you have and not to have it. You know what I mean? So if you what's the saying? The saying is, have it, and better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So if there's crime going on in the community and there's no police officers going around, or there's nobody there to ensure safety, then you're kind of at a loss. Mm-hmm. So I feel like having police officers in the community circling around is beneficial.